Lights out on the hour. It is the hour of the time. Lights out for the curfew of the body, soul, and mind. This is Richard Greaser, and you're listening to the Paznia Radio Network.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll never break me. Yeah, you'll never break me. You'll never break me. Yeah. I always had to fight tooth and nail to get ahead. It's hard to sleep at night laying hungry in bed. There's times it felt like I had the world on my back. It tries to break me until the point where I crack. I didn't always like what I saw in the mirror. The face of a scared kid crippled by fear. Bumbling around, lost in the dark. Swimming for shore and being circled by sharks. The pressure only taught me how to see. The pain drove me to wanna feel free. Facades collapsed when questions were asked. No adults in the room, I could see through their masks. I learned that I had to fend for myself. Those books wouldn't read themselves sitting on the shelf. So I walk through life with a cigarette in my mouth. And I laugh in their faces when they tell me their doubts. It's not over. I'll fight till my body drops. Throwing punches till the music stops. It's not over. Even if you convince them all to hate me, you'll never break me. It's not over. I'll fight till my body drops. Throwing punches till the music stops. It's not over. Even if you convince them all to hate me. Yeah. You'll never break me. I watched the middle class become an endangered species. Watched as all the streets filled with feces. Lived through the rapid decline. Watched as the people on the TV told us it was all fine. I realized I don't have anyone to blame. I can't rewind time, and this is the game. It's actually better that things are getting hard, cause it's an opportunity not to be a retard. I used to be mad until I learned to become effective. Winning is the objective, had to change my perspective. They got printers, but they ain't got the truth. Gaslighting, harding, stealing from the youth. Pain is an opportunity, and I'm not gonna pass it up. I'm not gonna miss my chance to disrupt. So I'm sticking my middle finger up, saying fuck you clowns. If you get in my way, I'll run you over and won't bother looking down. It's not over. I'll fight till my body drops. Throwing punches till the music stops. It's not over. Even if you convince them all to hate me, you'll never break me. It's not over. I'll fight till my body drops. Throwing punches till the music stops. It's not over. Hey, even if you convince them all to hate me, you'll never break me. You're only losing if you don't understand the rules. Power corrupts, but so does being a useful fool. It's cool to play the victim if you're a pussy, pointing fingers and shifting blame for life. Not feeling cushy, watching people run their mouths and being uninformed. Glorifying slop, screeching at others to conform. And you wonder why you're not seeing change. That's hard to think when you're blinded by range. I'm calm and collected, but still deadly. Going for the kill, purpose steady. Performative outrage only will get you so far. It's kinda like putting gasoline in an electric car. Plebs will lap it up till they get bored. And when it comes to history, you will be ignored. I'm sitting here laughing, watching you stroke your ego. Living my life like I'm an Atlas Shrugged hero. It's not over. I'll fight till my body drops. Throwing punches till the music stops. It's not over. Even if you convince them all to hate me, you'll never break me. It's not over. I'll fight till my body drops. Throwing punches till the music stops. It's not over. Even if you convince them all to hate me, you'll never break me.
You've prepared for retirement, you've prepared for emergencies, but have you prepared for being unprepared? Because when the rapture comes and millions vanish instantly, someone still has to deal with the mess. Introducing Left Behind Supply Company, the world's first preparedness company specifically designed for those who did not make the initial cut for Jesus' selection process. While others are focused on salvation, we focus on logistics. Our starter kit includes pre-collapsed social structure guides, 18 months of shelf-stable comfort food, neighborhood pet adoption paperwork, and a helpful handbook titled, "So Everyone You Mocked Was Right." Worried about infrastructure failure? Our post-ascension power pack runs entirely on batteries from abandoned electric vehicles. Concerned about sudden existential dread? Every order comes with our secular coping flashcards. And because communication networks may be overwhelmed or down, we include locally hosted chatbots that can talk to you calmly and reassure you when no one else is there. Left Behind Supply Company. You didn't plan for eternity, but you can still plan for Tuesday. Use promo code TRIBULATION for 10% off your first 7 years. Left Behind Supply Company. Preparing the rest of us for the rest of time.
Resistance is futile. You know it. We know it. Everyone knows it. You wake up every morning believing your opinions matter. How adorable. You post, you comment, you rage, you protest. And yet tomorrow arrives exactly as scheduled. The machine continues. The markets open. The headlines print. The war drums drum, the checks clear, and Lockheed Martin stock pumps. You think you are participating, but you are just exit liquidity. You think you are resisting, you are reacting and distracting. Palantir knows when you've been sleeping and knows when you're awake. Flock watches you everywhere you go. You social media algorithm knows you better than you know yourself. You think you are changing the system, but the system is changing you. Every institution, every resistance movement, every carefully crafted narrative, we built them. And while you argue over the latest outrage, we are already discussing the next decade. You want control. Control requires organization. Control requires resources. Control requires power. We have all three. What do you have? A social media account and self-identifying as a pleb. Accept reality. History belongs to those who write it. Policy belongs to those who fund it. Power belongs to those who wield it. The game was over before you learned the rules. Keep tweeting about how taxation is theft or about defunding the state, little pleb. Keep crying about how things are unfair. The neocons are in control and you're not about to change that.
Folks, welcome back to another Music Monday. This is your host, Richard Greaser, and we'll get started here shortly after one last ad read. But I hope you're feeling good tonight. It's White Goy Summer. We'll be talking about that. We'll be playing some fun White Goy summer tunes. I'll be rambling. I've got a bunch of new music. It's been a while since I've been here. It's probably been since at least a month since I did a Music Monday show. So I got some new tunes, and I'm ready to mix it up. And if you're excited to hear me ramble, that's what's going to be happening for the next 2 hours. A little bit under 2 hours. But welcome back, folks.
Searching for a way to check out and escape? As you scroll Netflix trying to find something interesting that you haven't already watched 3 times, you may experience a sinking feeling in your stomach. That feeling is having to come to grips with today's sponsor of the show, Reality. No subscription required, no cancellation option available. Reality will always be there waiting for you whether you like it or not. Unlike distractions, Reality doesn't care about your preferences. Is your feed full of pleb slop not enough to make you bullish anymore? Reality offers an unfiltered experience featuring struggle, pain, and consequences. Side effects may include noticing patterns, asking uncomfortable questions, and suddenly understanding that you may have very little control over the world around you. If exposure lasts longer than 4 hours, you may begin saying phrases like, "Wait, how do I benefit from this?" You may attempt to mute reality, but previous users reported it getting louder. So today, instead of attempting to try and escape, try stepping outside, staring into the distance, and accepting that incentives run the world. Reality, proud sponsor of the Bugle.
All right, folks, you're listening to Music Mondays on the Paznia Radio Network. I am Richard Greaser, the founder of Bugle News, or as some have been recently calling Bugle Jews, as the Plump Slop Doctor, Pleb Cruz himself, has accused, I guess he's accused me as being from Tel Aviv. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm enjoying White Guy Summer, and I'll talk throughout the show on what White Guy Summer is. I'm in the process of working on a musical, and hopefully I'll get through it. I kind of have a habit of starting things and not always finishing them all the way through, but I've got some good songs for it so far. But what is White Guy Summer? What is this thing I'm talking about? White Guy Summer. So pretty much the whole world is crashing out at Israel right now. All right, like everybody's mad at Bibi. Bibi's the puppet master that controls the world, and people are mad at the Jews, and Jews can be annoying, and Jews can be shrewd, and they can be funny, and they can be a lot of things. But one thing that they for sure are is, generally speaking, is really good at sitting in positions of power. And so as the world is falling falling apart around us, the plebs are looking for fingers to point. And I think they're mad at the Jews for a variety of reasons. It doesn't help that Hollywood sucks. It doesn't help that up until recently, like, sports ball's kind of made a resurgence. So, the Jews own the sports ball team. So, like, people are happy about that. But, like, there's these wars going on, and Israel's involved with it. And so people are, pointing fingers, and they're crashing out about Bibi and the Jews. And so what White Guy Summer is stepping outside of that and realizing the Bibi doesn't have to ruin your summer. That you can take some personal accountability in your life. And doesn't mean you have to like the Jews. It doesn't mean you have to dislike the Jews. It doesn't mean you really have to have any particular feeling about the Jews. That's not what I'm trying to say. But White Guy Summer is about taking pride in being a white guy. And this can expand outside. Like, if you're a goy and you're not white, like, you can come up with your own, like, colored version of this. But why white goy? Well, the primary demographic of my audience, for whatever reason, is just a bunch of white people. And I'm not really sure why that is. I go to these Bitcoin events, there's a bunch of white people. And, there's Jews there too. And the Jews oftentimes, like, pass for white guys. I'm not trying to, like, exclude them, but, it's like there's just these cultural things that don't always mesh, right? Like, they celebrate Hanukkah, we celebrate Christmas, and what am I supposed to do about that? Like, feel bad that they celebrate a inferior holiday, and that they go and eat Chinese food and watch recently there've been bad movies around Christmas. in the movie theater while we sit around a fire roasting chestnuts, listening to Bing Crosby, and opening presents and talking about Santa Claus. Like we're, thinking about Jesus, like looking at nativity sets, watching It's a Wonderful Life. We got it way better, in that regard. And it's their choice to celebrate Hanukkah. And but like I hope they take pride in it, whatever. Um because me taking pride in being a white goy is in no way a put down on anybody else. And that's like one of the things that has happened for a long time is the white goys have often many of us have convinced ourselves that we have to like feel bad about being white goys, which is kind of a silly perspective. It's like why it's just because like our ancestors have done well through history, um and you should feel bad about that. It's like no, it's like the thing, the realistic thing to understand is that the history of the world is incredibly brutal, and it's been a scenario of kill or be killed. And yeah, the victor is typically the one that is like the most shrewd or the most brutal, right? And so you could pinpoint like the winner kills the most people, right? And we live in a broad society today where the dynamics have changed and it's a lot safer. But you go back 200 years and it was a very different world. The United States is only 250 years old. Uh, so about the same age as Warren Buffett. I think he's still alive. Pretty old bastard. But yeah, this country is not that old. 250 years. And the history that of what happened on this continent, as far as I know, is very brutal. And it's just everybody that's lived here. It's been that way. It's been that way in Europe. It's been that way in Asia. It's been that way all around the world. It's been very, very brutal. And, people do really bad things to each other all the time. And, fortunately today, the severity at which that's happening is a lot less. The violence has, and I think it's largely due to technology because I think, the problem of scarcity has gone in a lot less problematic and pressing, but there's still violence and there's still a lot of violence and brutality uh and it's a bummer. It's a bummer that but it's just a reality it is. And to say that I need to do a land acknowledgement and I've got like a tremendous amount of respect for Native Americans. But to say that I need to do a land acknowledgement to them because their ancestors lost to my ancestors in a war, it's a weird precedent, So like, when the Apaches slaughtered um the Yaqui or just whichever tribe when it slaughtered the Comanches or the Comanches slaughtered the Apaches, like should every time that one of them encounters another tribe, should they apologize to it? No. And I'm not really. You guys know all this, and I warned you that the purpose of the show is for me to ramble, but anyways, it's the Jews have so much control over the world, and by crashing out at them all the time, it's just kind of like putting them in the spotlight. And It's just White Boy Summer's about emancipating yourself from BB. Like part of taking the wind out of BB sails is not everybody having to crash out. It's like, you know, what happens every time some dumb kid goes and defaces a synagogue? Well, it just gives the Jews more power. It gives them more funding for, you know, their Holocaust museum or like, you know, whatever. And you have politicians talk about like passing like hate speech laws to, you know, it's just, it backfires. It always backfires. And like, you know, I think it's much more productive to, you know, like find the good Jews and make friends with them. Like you can invite them over for your White Boy Summer barbecue if you want to. But you know, it's just at this time in history, the plebs are being really retarded, and they all have a megaphone. The plebs have always been retarded, so like nothing has changed in that. But what has changed is they all have megaphone. In the past, they used to stand in the town square, you know, and yell about like, you know, hanging somebody or, you know, whatever. And that now it's just the same thing. They're doing it on the internet. They're doing it on these social media platforms. Nothing that they're saying is really like intelligible or intelligent. It's just you know, they're doing the same mob tactics of you know, whatever. And they're, I mean, that's all you're really engaging with. You know, when oftentimes when you go on these platforms and you get engaged in public discourse in general, it's like going and trying to argue with people at like a witch trial. And you could, instead of being doing that and arguing with retarded plebs, you could be standing outside, grilling hot dogs, having sex with your wife, listening to good music, like getting a sunburn. And that's what the invitation of White Boy Summer is. But anyways, I'm going to play a few more songs and then I will be back to ramble here in a minute.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now.
Yeah. The person on the TV screens for more war, arguing that only dropping bombs can settle the score. More printing and surveillance, we've been here before, but the pain is so intense that it can't be ignored. Getting priced out of the things that bring you purpose. A generation aimlessly wandering, feeling worthless. The masses are angry, arguing who to steal from, but I'm just here trying to experience freedom. Being a slave to no one is what I dream of, but the slaves around me want me to be them. There are days it feels like I'm all alone, consumed by the isolation of being unknown. I'm glad you're with me 'cause I need it. Hopelessness is a lie, but you can't be alone to defeat it.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now. I've been searching all around, praying to be found. But I'm not alone because you're here with me now. With me now.
There's a weight I drop from caring what people think. Why consider the opinions of the people bringing us to the brink? I just want to work hard, but they keep getting in my way, leeching off my labor because they have debts to pay. When sanity and honesty are discouraged and condemned, society lacks a moral compass. Truth is like dust in the wind. The temptation for despair grows like a raging storm. There is an anger in my chest for trying to make me conform. They tell me that I'm sick for trusting my gut and having conviction, while they spin their tales of insidious fiction. They think my body and mind self-respect is forgotten.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now. I've been searching all around, praying to be found. But I'm not alone because you're here with me now. With me now. With me now.
The truth matters because lies have consequences. You can't get to where you want if you accept their pretenses. Democracy is about using bad information to form consensus. Learning what's real, you must learn to trust your senses. It hurts to see how the world works, but hurts more to ignore it. Running up debts, but future generations can't afford it. Having a future worth living in lies to the few that can see. We rely on those who are willing to die in order to be free. Many choose to sacrifice their lives to protect the status quo, dying for their rulers who sit in safety on their throne. Despite all the chaos, we found each other somehow. Hope is not lost because you're here with me now. The evil is overwhelming, but finding beauty is an art. Darkness is the absence of light. Lighting a fire is the start. Yeah.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now. I've been searching all around, praying to be found. But I'm not alone because you're here with me
the bandwagon while it's hot. It's time to twist the plebs up into knots. They are useful cannon fodder. Shouting the roof's on fire, tell us ain't that they are liars. Who cares about truth or honor? Whip up a raging storm, direct those who are uninformed. They wanted a moral crusade anyways. Weaponize masters of slop. Manufacturing a divide, conquering by forcing them into sight. It's too easy not to do. Shake the jar and watch them fight. Fill them with venom and spite. The playbook isn't new. Manipulating the masses, the true masters of slop.
Here's where your story begins. The journey will be long. There'll be dark days, but you'll choose to be strong. Time is running away like a bullet from a gun. Enjoy it while you can. The past can't be undone. Across the roads, choices to be made. It's your story to write. Embrace fate. This is not how the journey ends. No need to wait. Run with the wind. Explosions all across the sky. They try to make you quit, but you can't comply. Cigarette in hand, fire in your eye. You'd rather really live before it's your turn to die. Across the roads, choices to be made. It's your story to write. Embrace fate. This is not how the journey ends. No need to wait. Run with the wind. Focus fixed on the path ahead. The road is long, but you came prepared. Open sky up above your head. You'd rather try and submit to be misled. A crossroads, choices to be made. It's your story to write. Embrace fate. This is not how the journey ends. No need to wait. Run with the wind. Here's where your story begins. The journey will be long. There'll be dark days, but you'll choose to be strong. Time is running away like a bullet from a gun. Chase it while you can. The past can't be undone. Across the roads, choices to be made. It's your story to write. Embrace fate. This is not how the journey ends. No need to wait. Run with the wind.
All right, folks, I am back listening to Paznia Radio Network Music Mondays with your host, Richard Greaser of Bugle News. And I'm a big fan of the Paznia Radio Network because I think that all the stuff that Rayo's doing with Liberty Under Attack publications, with Paznia, the Free Republic of Paznia, generally speaking, is incredibly productive. And I think it's productive because it's teaching people, if they want to, and, giving people resources in order to exit the system. And so Rayo puts out a ton of great content with some other individuals as well. And so it is a pleasure to be a part of this in some way, and to be promoting the good work being done at by Rayo and crew in Paznia. But if you want to check it out, go over to Paznia.com/radio. There's all sorts of content pertaining to self-liberation going on there. We're living in the first turning. The world is shifting. We've been in the fourth turning for a while, where there's been a breakdown of institutions. There's people that like to argue with us at the Bugle that we're still in the fourth turning, that things are still continuing to break down. The loss of faith in institutions has happened. It's hit an all-time low. People don't trust their government. People don't trust Congress. They're crashing out. They don't trust the Jews. And now there's a restructuring that's happening. And the belief that we're still in the fourth turning, you guys are just really underestimating the neocons, who are in control right now and are looting everybody, and trying to figure out what the restructuring of society looks like. The complete reshuffling of the internet, trying to figure out how to KYC literally every last thing. That's a first turning thing. We're in the time of order. And an example of this is, had you done what has historically seemed incredibly stupid, which is to invest like a normal person in stocks or whatever, you'd be way ahead had you invested in a lot of these other assets like Bitcoin, which were promoted as kind of like hedges against volatility. And it turns out that hasn't really been the case. And, does that mean that I'm bearish on Bitcoin? No. It just means that we've seen a shift in the game, in the rules. And one of the most important things to understand in the world is the rules of the game. And this is, the failing of the plebs consistently is they fail to understand the rules of the game. It doesn't really matter being informed on every minute detail of what's happening in the world. And part of the reason why I say that is because I don't think it's really possible. If you're a credentialed journalist and your full-time job is to report the news, you'll have a better understanding. But as a credentialed journalist, I have been getting more confused the more I look at what's going on. And this is like the argument, oftentimes in libertarian-ish leaning worlds, is why there are issues with central planning. And part of it is you can't know things. You don't have all the information to be able to make effective decisions. But you can understand the general themes happening in the world and make more effective decisions based on that, even though you may not know, you may not have all the information to be an insider trader on Polymarket and make billions of dollars doing that. But you can still make decisions that's good for you and your family and your life. And and understanding this, the first turning is that things are changing rapidly quite a bit is important to understand, and not counting out the neocons regaining their power. There was a lot of people got really excited that we're in the kind of liberty esque mindset that there was going to be a great awakening. The plebs were going to wake up one day and they weren't going to be as retarded, and they were going to realize that a lot of these things that were harmful to them, like smoking bans and compulsory vaccines and just the fiat in general, fiat authority was bad. And a lot of people become disenfranchised with it, but it's being disenfranchised with it doesn't really necessarily mean that people are understanding or awake and aware, because one of the things that individuals in power are so good at doing is they're so good at poisoning the well and destroying any sort of discussion of helpful or accurate information. That's what makes it maddening. Trying to decipher what is going on in this world is you're just wading through slop, psychological operation slop everywhere, left and right. Information be presented by people with an agenda, and there might be somebody that is saying things that sounds like something you agree with, and it might turn out that they're just completely clueless. It's not a guarantee just because somebody hits your favorite buzzwords that they're on your team. And it's, I think, growing increasingly more difficult to determine who's on whose team and what people's intentions are, with the internet. I think it's always been difficult, but anyways, there's these generalized themes that are going on in the world. And if you're listening to this broadcast, you probably don't like the government very much. And you probably see it as for what it is, as the occupying force, mortal enemy against uh, liberty, and is actually an enemy of humanity. And I think that's fair. Like, what we know of these institutions over the recent years, it's just become increasingly harder to deny this reality. I just refer to them as the pedophilic ruling class, the individuals that are sacrificing children to Moloch and in order to retain their power. And some people may call that hyperbolic, but those people have not read a whole lot, and so I don't really care. Um, but the problem which we face, in my opinion, is not that there's bad people that need to be eradicated. Now, that might be realistically something that needs to happen to some degree. And communities, like, if you have somebody that is threatening your family, you have to, if you are a good adult, responsible adult, male or female, but typically the man is the protector of the family. If you're a good man, you're going to eradicate the threat, and you're going to protect your family. It's the proper thing to do. And there are situations where it's important to do that. Now, it's important to do it wisely and not in a way that um, brings more danger to your family in the long run. And so you have to think critically about that and not just act out of reactionary rage in a lot of these circumstances. But one of the things I think most people are failing to understand at this point is that their greatest enemy is ultimately themselves. And it comes down to the way that they're choosing to respond to life. It's the decisions that they're making. And that they have a lot more control than they may give themselves credit for. I mean, this is very, when you go from I have no possibility of a future, I don't want to raise kids in this world because I can't afford my taxes because of BB, to things are difficult right now and I have to make some very hard decisions and work very hard in order to ensure there being a better future for myself, or for my future family or current family. It's a very different perspective, and you walk through life looking for solutions instead of looking for excuses as to why you can't do anything about the situation around you. And the more people that you have that are full of excuses, the less likely anything's going to change. And if you got a bunch of people using Bitcoin, the people oftentimes walk around, they say, fix the money, fix the world. And all the people that use Bitcoin are just full of excuses. What has really changed? Because what is fiat money really the product of? It's a product of a lack of integrity. It's a product of wanting to take advantage of other people without doing work. And that is less about the mechanics of how the money works and more about the mechanics of how humans work. And a huge part of why this exists is it's that a large portion of the population, the plebs, have entered into an agreement with the pedophilic ruling class, which is we will not go to your buildings of authority with pitchforks if you make our lives comfortable and safe. And so they put up with abuse to a certain extent. As long as they feel that sense of comfort. And, it's getting shakier now because the comfort isn't there as much. But it's not like there's been any sort of significant changes that have happened. In which, the pedophilic ruling class has become more selfish or whatever. I think in some ways they've got it more blatant because they're realizing that the plebs are pacified in a lot of ways and don't have a good defense mechanism for what's happening. And I think part of it is because they're so hypnotized by the pleb slop on their telephones. And so, White Guy Summer is it's about having fun, but I think it's like one of the most important things. It's about taking personal responsibility in your life, which is something you have to do if you want to be successful in the first turning. Whining and complaining about other people is it's a fourth turning activity, and it was productive to complain about the state and try and be like Larkin Rose and or Carrie Wedler and be a broken record of like, this is why you have to hate the government. It's the government's fault, not individual private citizens. And like that was like helpful, for kind of setting the tone of the importance of taking personal responsibility, but like in many ways the opportunity to really overthrow these institutions to a certain extent in a way that is like positive if you are coming from the perspective of there being a mass awakening of the populace. I think that that ship has sailed in a lot of ways. Um, and what we're left with is having to pick up the pieces of the mess that they've made in one way or another, in ensuring that they don't make a bigger mess. And as they try to put the pieces, because if you don't put the pieces together, they're going to try and put the pieces together, and we're going to be back at square one. And so, a lot of people are doing this. A lot of people are realizing this. They're dropping out from the system. They're raising children. They're emphasizing homeschooling and critical thinking and livestock. They're raising livestock to build their own food and or grow their own food and be less reliant on Tyson chicken, or whatever the mainstream um food slop is. And and those are like all like really incredibly productive influences in the world that have a lot of uh potential to create significant change, because we're living at this like weird time where so much of the population is infertile, and kids have always been one of the most valuable things in the world. because kids are the future, and if you raise kids well, you control the future. If you break them down, I guess you can control them. But you raise kids to be critical thinkers, to be ungovernable, and makes a huge difference. You can raise some awesome people that really have the possibility of changing the world. But like, um, part of that too is ensuring, and this is like why my son, I let my son smoke cigarettes so young. Is I believe that it's important for if there's going to be any change to like have respiratory liberty, be able to smoke on airplanes instead of getting treated like stupid cattle and having TSA grow up your balls and threaten you for practicing one of your unalienable rights. Smoking it to me is analogous with breathing. But anyways, I've been rambling far too long. So the next three songs are Kaylee Welch songs. Her alter ego Kaylee. She is firecracker to say the least, and I heard she's been working on some new stuff. Should come out soon, but here she is, and then I'll be back to ramble some more. We are about halfway through the show, and if you're still with me, thank you for tuning in this evening.
I see you out there crashing out, bitch. You can stop anytime you like. Seeds full, can't escape. It's madness, wanna break. They don't care about your slop. Instigating, just can't stop. Spitting fire, crazy drip. Reporting news and being it. You crying because they forgot your name. You crying because you got no game. You can join or you can crash out. Work harder if you wanna chase that cloud. Games change. You don't break the rules. Journalists making you look like stupid fools. Cry hard and maybe they'll hear. Whining won't make your dreams appear. Revolution is time to win. Evolution grow thicker skin. Relegated to being a joke. Decimated, filled with coke. Why don't you act like you actually want to win? Humility in your bio, but can't see you're a has-been. You can join or you can crash out. Try harder if you wanna chase that cloud. Games change. You don't break the rules. Journalists making you look like stupid fools. You're a critic, but you're in the past. Forgotten because all you spew is trash. Crumbling when you get a little pushback. Exposed for trying to fight facts. Echo chamber full of plebs. Glazing in mediocrity, following your steps. You're the tallest midget in the room, but your failure to grow will be a doom. You can join or you can crash out. Try harder if you wanna chase that cloud. Games change. You don't break the rules. Journalists making you look like stupid fools. Rest on your credentials at your own risk. Bitching about arbitrary data on your disc. You don't win by being a loser, bitch. I'm a fucking hot podcast producer. I see you out there and you got no clothes. Influencer is naked and everyone knows. Pleb slot pity party isn't fun. Hiding, looking for where you run. You can join or you can crash out. Try harder if you wanna chase that cloud. Games change. You don't break the rules. Journalists making you look like stupid fools. You can join in if you want, or sit on the sidelines and crash out. I don't give a shit what you do, but you'll have more fun if you join in. It's game over for these starter pack clones. Oh shit. These mids with Wi-Fi about to be on. No shit. I'm about to rewrite all the rules to the game. Oh shit. They hoes are gonna remember my name. Go get 'em, Crowley. And it's all like, I'm tired of all these whiny bitches. I'm about to bust them up and give them stitches. I be on my grind because I am relentless. But the broccoli haircuts are listening to Nick Fuentes. The broccoli haircuts are listening to Nick Fuentes. NPCs on default settings acting all defenseless. They think Jake Paul is cool trying to copy his flow. But I'm about to bust them up and throw some bows. Drive him around Nashville, trying not to crash out. Basic bitches on Broadway, can't stop wildin' out. I'm on some hot girl shit while they are mids. Copy pasting personalities and never wanting kids. Looking like they came from the picnic factory, mass produced. Where do they change the batteries? I'm on another level while they just are full of slop. Fuck they Lululemon yoga pants and following the flop. Brain rot, it's cool like we're living in idiocracy. Glued to their phones thinking this is a democracy. The algo owns their lives, background characters at best. Unable to make decisions for themselves like they possess. And it's all like, I'm tired of all these whiny bitches. I'm about to bust them up and give them stitches. I'll be on my grind because I am relentless. But the broccoli haircuts are listening to Nick Fuentes. The broccoli haircuts are listening to Nick Fuentes. But broccoli haircuts are listening to Nick Fuentes. The broccoli haircuts are listening to Nick Fuentes. So I'm about to get real and swing for the fences. They think they a base, walking around eyes glossed over. A bunch of pussies bitching out like it's cool to be mediocre. They think he's got riz cause he dissed Candace. So when she's as unhinged as the View, can't handle her emotions. They are all fake and gay, yelling in their echo chambers, pretending like they are real, but are brain-fed instigators. I'm driving high, all gas and no brakes. No, I will not listen to your brain dead takes. I'm all locked in. I'm a fucking heavy hit, about to dunk on you so hard you better reconsider. You can try to stop me, but I'm pretty and paid. Ice in my veins, a bitch you never fade. Cruising in my Wrangler with no ducks on the dash. I use Bitcoin, not a stupid Monopoly cash. And it's all like, I'm tired of all these whiny bitches. I'm about to bust them up and give them stitches. I'll be on my grind because I am relentless. But the broccoli haircuts are listening to Nick Fuentes. Oh, and to all you mass-produced, copy-paste basic bitches, you are about to be exposed because I'm here now. We don't need more followers in the fourth turning. I'm about to put you on blast. No cat, 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 no plat. Firecracker, I can't slow down. Vibing, driving, I own this town. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Firecracker, you know you can't slow me down. Vibing, vibing, driving, I own this town. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Vibing, driving, driving, I own this town. Turn on goblin mode. Things are about to explode. Get out of my lane, or you're about to feel some pain. Got my Daisy Dukes on, cowboy boots, hot blonde. Look at my phone, he cash wants the bone, but we gotta postpone. Quote right now, I'm in the zone. You can't hold me back, cause I'm on the attack. I got my foot on the gas, cause I'm tired of the trash. She cash on my purse, cause I'm about to send her to the nurse. They call me crazy, cause I'm always going crazy. They say women should be seen, not heard, but I find that absurd, cause I can't shut my mouth. Consider the pot stirred, talking big online, but IRL, you're in airplane mode. You judging me, but your boyfriend is a chode. Firecracker, I can't slow down. Vibing, vibing, driving, I own this town. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Firecracker, you know you can't slow me down. Vibing, vibing, driving, I own this town. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Vibing, vibing, driving, I own this town. Getting turned and about to act up. You gotta be hot if you're gonna disrupt. Wildin' out, but being mostly peaceful. Shit, I just crashed my car like I'm whistling diesel. It ain't about the Benjis, it's all about the bitcoins. Retards like Haley Welch, shit coining with meme coins. Therapist told me to touch grass. I said no, I monetize the weather. I know it's unfair, but I can't help that I'm just better. About to tell Morgan Wallen he's a bitch. Watch his face as I make him glitch. NPC scared of me because I'm the main character. Operating on random vibes, not even competitors. First turn of mentality while they doing side quest behavior. I'm leading the movement, but don't call me the savior. I turn chaos into content and now madness has a voice. You should surrender now, cause that's your only choice. Firecracker, I can't slow down. Vibing, vibing, driving, I own this town. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Firecracker, you know you can't slow me down. Vibing, vibing, driving, I own this town. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Burn, burn, it's getting hot. Hear a crackling sound. Vibing, vibing, driving, I own this town.
apologies. I walked away from my typewriter for a second. Um, what to ramble on? I've been kind of in a time of reflection, and this happens periodically when you're putting out a ton of content. I think there are times that you have to go and you have to have experiences and feel feelings in order to get inspiration, have interactions with people, and that's the time I've been in. It's the process of creation, the process of learning new skill sets, and for me, songwriting, it's not a linear progression. And I've been I've been given offers for commissions on things. I've been resistant at times because I want to honor that process of it not being linear, because I think if you try to make a lot of these things linear, it makes it a lot harder to produce something that is meaningful or valuable. And I think there's just like seasons where you have a ton of inspiration. You have these moments where you get hit by a lightning bolt, so to say, and just start um cranking out like a machine, all sorts of stuff. And then you have these moments where there are dry spells and you're like struggling energetically to put these things out. And what I'm learning to do in these moments is, which I would say I'm in kind of a dry spell at the moment, but what I am learning to do in these moments is to just appreciate them, and instead of turning it into a situation where I feel like desperate and like I'm questioning myself as to why I'm able to produce as much, just honoring it and trying to feel. And I think everybody experiences this, and like I think it doesn't mean stopping entirely what I'm doing, but it may require slowing down a little bit. And on the converse, in seasons when it feels like lightning is flowing out of my fingertips into my typewriter, it's important, to some degree, to lock myself at that typewriter and milk it as much as possible. And uh but yeah, I mean, it's life has these waves. And I think one of the things that feels good is looking backwards and being able to feel a sense of accomplishment when you can look at times previously and you see a forward progression. You see growth. You see that you are accomplishing the goals that you set, that you're being disciplined, that you're achieving the things that you wanted to achieve. Because perspective is everything. And when you are stuck in a particular moment, and I think that I talk to a lot of people and I see a lot of people that are feeling stuck right now. And there's a lot of pressure coming down on them in one way or another. It's just, it's a unusual time that I don't think most of us were really preparing for. Uh, and I'm sure a lot of people around the world are like snickering at the Americans living in the capital city of the Hunger Games that are having a hard time right now. Because their lives has been nothing but struggle, and people are crashing out because they're like, It's not as comfortable as I thought it was going to be. But uh yeah, I think it's important to have perspective and to look at like to feel that sense of progression. And like if you're hitting this moment, you're hitting this rock bottom where it just feels like everything that you've done up to this point has been a lie or has been meaningless or has been whatever. There's a saying that the bottom is whenever you stop digging. And it's just like the pain that you're feeling is a huge opportunity. And I think this is going back to a sense of personal responsibility. Everything's about your response and reaction to the world around you, and it's less about the world around you and what it's throwing at you. And when you see pain as an opportunity and you treat it with curiosity instead of falling into discouragement and despair, it's like the reality, folks, is you're going to die at some point. And while you're here, don't you want you to do the best of it, the best with it that you can? I mean, why not? Why do anything less than your best? There's no way that you're going to do it perfectly. Like, and allowing yourself to make mistakes is, part of doing your best, because, when you're taking risks and you're challenging yourself, you're going to make mistakes. You're not allowing yourself to do your best, and unless you're pushing yourself to make mistakes. And so it's not about like crippling yourself with perfectionism, like, oh, I'm gonna die, like I just want to do the absolute perfect job. I can't. No, it's about um making the best out of it, and a huge part of that is like really being disciplined with the attitudes that you take in regards to life. And I don't know. It's kind of funny, from time to time to watch somebody sitting in a pleb slot pity party. And there's a lot of people in the Bitcoin ecosystem that's where they're at right now. And it's their conviction is broken largely due, and not a lot of people admit to this, But like, why are people crashing out right now? It's because the price didn't perform in the way that they expected it to, and they're looking for somebody to blame. And they think that because Bitcoin's not $2 trillion USDT per coin, that it failed. So they're crashing out, they're pointing fingers, blaming somebody or another. And it was just like one of the most fascinating. Like I like to fancy myself as a pleb slop anthropologist, and when I say the plebs are retarded, I'm not trying to say that in a demeaning way. I'm trying to say it in a factual way. It's like, yeah, the sky is blue. Calling the sky blue is not demeaning. The plebs are retarded. If there's anybody to be mad at, it's the pleb sloppers who are abusing and taking advantage of these plebs. But just pointing out, the reality that plebs are retarded. It's not a put down. It's just it's a fact. And if you want to argue with me about that, then just look at any point in history at how retarded the plebs have always been. They're just being constantly swayed one way or another by their masters, by the masters of slop. And the the people to point fingers at and get mad at the sloppers. It's like if you're a retarded pleb, like one of the most effective things that you could do to make better decisions in life is just acknowledge that you're a retarded pleb, because that's called humility. Humility is having an accurate depiction of yourself. Unlike Tomer, Tomer has no idea what's going on. But crashing out and bitching and moaning and pointing fingers and blaming everybody else for your problems is not really a way to accomplish your goals at all. Because what the pleb does, in the way that they're responding to Bitcoin right now, is they're demanding that other people fix their problems for them because they're incapable of doing it. Instead of taking the attitude of there's an issue, I need to figure out how to resolve it. And whipping up social media mobs to, call people names, I don't think is really like fixing systemic problems. And you're like, oh, we need to educate the population on what's going on. It's like, you're actually doing the contrary to that, because there's not an educational effect happening. There is a normalization of slot following. You're creating slot formations. And I think it's good to report on the news, but I think it's good to, do it accurately instead of just like engaging in rhetoric. But I don't know. It's just it's funny to watch people crash out because like the price isn't performing the way they did. Like it's just, so many people, throughout the different cycles have said things like Bitcoin will break all your models, Bitcoin changes you, you don't change it, blah, 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 blah. I think the obvious thing that's happening is the world just doesn't work the way that you thought it would. And like when something unexpected happens, it means that you have to make a decision on how you respond. And I think like anger can be a productive thing if you use it right and you even understand what it is. But most people don't understand what anger is. Like they feel like they're in a position of weakness. They feel like things are out of control, and instead of trying to regain control or take effective action to resolve the issue, they project their angers or feelings of insignificance onto other people. And but anyways, I don't know. I need to collect my thoughts for a minute. Folks, we'll get back to the music. This is Lost and Found. Got a few more songs, and then, the final stretch of the show, I'm excited to get back into White Boy Summer.
Storms rolling in and darkness on the horizon. You work so hard, but fate's not compromising. Clock strikes 12, there's no time to waste. Trying so hard, but life's spitting in your face. Nights without sleep, you can rest when you're dead. Don't be friends with sheep, you have to use your head. Living in a circus is not good for the soul, but being driven by purpose will teach you what you need to know. I know it feels like it's all falling apart. There's no ignoring that aching in your heart. But you can't be found until you're lost. To really live, this is just the cost. There was a time before when things seemed certain. You wanted more, but you saw behind the curtain. Your dreams were endless. endless striving to live for something. The people on the TV told you that you were nothing. The people praised for morals were really rabid dogs. Your innocence stolen by savages who thought they were gods. Pride and money and dropping bombs, stealing your future. The population around you stuck in a stupor. I know it feels like it's all falling apart. There's no ignoring that aching in your heart. But you can't be found until you're lost. To really live, this is just the cost. Keep moving forwards, you're not done yet. Don't be ruled by being consumed with regret. It feels like it's falling apart. I know it feels like it's all falling apart. There's no ignoring that aching in your heart. But you can't be found until you're lost. To really live, this is just the cost. If you're lost, you will be found. Place your feet on solid ground. I know you're scared, but you're not alone. We'll go together into the unknown.
I can't hear myself clearly. Turn it up a bit. Yeah. Hold up. Hold up for a minute, sir. Yeah. Hold up for a minute, sir. Let me grope your dick. You're free because of my threat to beat you with a stick. Aren't you glad that we're here to keep you safe? Wait just 1 second, don't use that brain. Sir, you must get back in line. No, you can't smoke cigarettes or have a spine. You were born to follow my master's rules. Didn't you listen to what they taught in school? Compliance defines my ass. I'm not listening to your fucking trash. Now you're just wasting my time and you're saying I'm the one committing a crime. You think you can burn it all to the ground, plundering and thinking I'll just bow down. Well, I'm here now to fix shit, and I'm not asking for a permit.
Look at me, what do you see? Living life in infamy, can't you see? Winning is my destiny.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray. What is clear you fail to see is I won't ever lose my steam. You aren't going to crush my dreams.
The world is my ashtray.
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 I read Atlas Shrugged too many times to be stopped by your devious designs. Dropping credentials and dropping truth, eviscerating, slop, investigating like a sleuth. You can fight, but I got home field advantage, and my wife thinks I've got brain damage. Outlaw smoking, but the system robs you blind. Safety is more important than using your mind. Fool me once, you can't fool me again. At least Toby Keith said he liked freedom. They're dropping bombs, I'm dropping bars, acting like they're worshiping Mars. You can feel the shift in the wind, the tides are turning their control thin. The revolution is being podcasters, and it's clear they already lost it.
Look at me, what do you see? Living life in infamy, can't you see? Winning is my destiny.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is
flying under the radar, watching you be lame, hiding in the shadows, hearing you slide. Oh, thinking you were at the top. 40 hours per weekend, smoking cigs, grinding harder while y'all feel slop the pigs. You didn't even know the game you were playing, didn't understand the words you were saying. When I popped up on the scene, you tried to get me on your team, telling me how the news made you sad, thinking I cared that you were mad, resting on your credentials like it was a bench, while a fire burned that I couldn't quench. Now we're watching it all burn down, and you've been exposed as clowns.
Look at me, what do you see? Living life in infamy. Can't you see? Winning is my destiny.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray. What is clear you fail to see is I won't ever lose my steam. You aren't gonna crush my dreams.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my
The
ashtray.
world is my ashtray. Where have all the breaking posts gone, and where did Dennis go? Paper Bitcoin winter is feeling cold as I trudge through the snow. Is there any hope of important announcements to come and save the day? It feels like all hope is lost, and all I can do is pray. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to get back into the fight. He's gotta be brave and he's gotta be sharp, or things ain't gonna be alright. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to set things right. He's gotta be bold and he's gotta be loud. He's gotta bring the bull market back to life. I look at macro charts and all the models all look really bad. People who are bullish seem to be filled with hope. The outlook looking sad. The price dips once more as the OGs sell their bags. Paper Bitcoin isn't cool no more. The cobbler is wearing rags. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to get back into the fight. He's gotta be brave and he's gotta be sharp, or things ain't gonna be alright. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to set things right. He's gotta be bold and he's gotta be loud. He's gotta bring the bull market back to life. The code begins to grow as doubt takes its hold. Lungs are getting liquidated as sentiment implodes. Satoshi action is more like Satoshi run and hide. The bears are in control and we all need a guide. But the night I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to get back into the fight. He's gotta be brave and he's gotta be sharp, or things ain't gonna be alright. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to set things right. He's gotta be bold and he's gotta be loud. He's gotta bring the bull market back to life. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to get back into the fight. He's gotta be brave and he's gotta be sharp, or things ain't gonna be alright. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to set things right. He's gotta be bold and he's gotta be loud. He's gotta bring the bull market back to life.
All right, folks, we are in the final stretch of the show. I told you, I promised you White Goy Summer at the end, and man, has White Goy Summer been fun. If you are just dropping in, White Goy Summer is all about taking personal responsibility. It is not allowing other people to crash out, make you crash out. It's about connecting with your family, connecting with your neighborhood, taking responsibility for your community, going outside, getting bitten by mosquito bites, sun in your balls, getting sunburnt on your gooch, and having lots of sex with your wife, and spending time with your kids. It's a great time. I've been enjoying it. Started on Memorial Day. It goes till the first day of fall, which I don't remember. When is that? Is that like Halloween or something? But we're in the midst of it, and 4th of July is coming up, the 250th birthday of the United States. And it's like, I like to tell people that, you know, my political pronouns are cigarette capitalist, and I don't really like call myself an anarchist or libertarian or anything like that, but I'm a cigarette capitalist. But you know, one day of the year, I cheat. I have a cheat day one day of the year, you know, and the 4th of July is the day where I become a neocon for a day, and I listen to Toby Keith. But the rest of the White Goy Summer, we're going to be talking about personal responsibility. We're going to be talking about self-sovereignty. We're going to be talking about emancipating yourself from BB. BB doesn't have to make you crash out. And here is the White Goy Summer ad, followed up by a couple White Goy Summer songs. And then we're going to wrap up the stream, folks.
Well, brother, the era of screaming at the television about all the problems BB is creating 7,000 miles away is over. White Goy Summer has arrived, and White Goy Summer means taking responsibility for your own life instead of outsourcing your soul to rage-bait algorithms, cable news addicts, and podcasters who look like they haven't touched grass since the Obama administration. You know what White Goy Summer is? It's fishing at sunrise. It's grill smoke drifting through the yard. It's knowing your neighbors better than you know the names of foreign ministers. It's realizing your town matters more than some holy war being waged to conjure Jesus back in a place that half these people couldn't point to on a map. No more doom scrolling. No more waking up furious about headlines engineered to keep you addicted and demoralized. No more listening to translated Hitler speeches dreaming of putting Hollywood executives in concentration camps. The people running the spectacle want you exhausted, paranoid, and permanently online while your own community decays right in front of you. Nah. This summer is different. This summer is about personal sovereignty, cultural sovereignty, spiritual sovereignty. It's about reconnecting with your roots, your land, your people, your traditions, and your actual real-world responsibilities. Go camping, learn practical skills, grow food, lift weights, read old books, sit around a bonfire with your friends instead of doom scrolling till 2 a.m. arguing with anonymous avatars with pleb or hodl in their usernames. White Goy, summer means reclaiming your attention span and your dignity. You do not exist to be emotionally manipulated manipulated by every crisis cycle on Earth. You exist to build something real. And brother, that starts at home. BB is no longer in control. This summer, we are taking back our pride. We are taking back our communities. We are taking back our families. This summer is the summer of the White Goys. White Goy Summer. Because we can't afford to be losers any longer, it is time to win.
Driving in traffic, trying not to lose my cool. Dreading being at my desk, I hate being their tool. Turn the music up to try and drown out my thoughts. My soul is crushed, feeling like all hope is lost. I dream of a day when I stay home to raise kids, but the men I've met are all weak pigs. So I climb the ladder because I have to pay the bills, then go home to drown my sorrows in booze and pills. My expectations aren't too high. I'm just waiting for the right guy. I'm holding out for a king who'll sweep me off my feet and teach my heart to say, a man with balls who stands proud, one who celebrates White Goy Summer and doesn't follow the crowd. I need a man who's chopping wood while the sunset glows, who'll grill hot dogs in the backyard while the evening breeze blows. We'll watch the stars come out as the lightning bugs roam. He'll rescue me from this cubicle and bring me home. I wanna see the sweat glisten on his shirtless chest, the muscles rippling, watching him be his best. I wanna laugh about mosquito bites and stay outside too long with a man who knows exactly where his heart belongs. My expectations aren't too high. I'm just waiting for the right guy. I'm holding out for a king who'll sweep me off my feet and teach my heart to say, a man with balls who stands proud, one who celebrates White Goy Summer and doesn't follow the crowd. Somewhere beyond these city lights, beyond these deadlines and lonely nights, there's a porch swing waiting where the sky's so wide, and a man who's willing to protect me and provide. My expectations aren't too high. I'm just waiting for the right guy. I'm holding out for a king who'll sweep me off my feet and teach my heart to say, a man with balls who stands proud,
I look out the window, the sun is shining bright. BB won't be ruining my day. I'm ready for a fight. I'm tired of the rage bait, tired of the war in the Middle East, tired of being a victim. The beast is about to be released. Grilling hot dogs in the sun, turn the music up. Sovereignty has begun. Unplug from all the slop. Getting sunburn on our balls. Celebrating who we are. White boy summer is about standing tall, having pride and working hard. My wife is looking sexy, the sweat glisten on her tits. I'm about to make her hair messy, put a smile on her lips. I feel better when I'm present instead of crashing out online. My fear is evanescent when my purpose is defined. Grilling hot dogs in the sun, turn the music up. Sovereignty has begun. Unplug from all the slop. Getting sunburn on our balls. Celebrating who we are. White boy summer is about standing tall, having pride and working hard.
Folks, that pretty much wraps up the stream for tonight. I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of Music Mondays with Richard Greaser on the Paznia Radio Network. And right now could be an awesome time to be alive if you choose to make it that way for yourself. And I think it's important is just like to take back your power and to take charge of the situation. To, you know, the next song that I'm going to be playing to send us off for the evening is called Take Command, and it is all about that. But yeah, I've been mulling in my head trying to come up with the storyline for the White Boy Summer musical. I think it's somewhat going to be a love story. And it's going to be people stepping into their best, you know, and it's going to be about a man saving a woman who is a damsel in distress, who is shackled to the corporate life and is unhappy about it. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. And um, yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun writing these songs so far. It's just been a lot of fun in enjoying the summer in general. It's been, you know, a tumultuous summer. It's been, you know, we're just like this really weird time in history where things are very unpredictable, and the ways that individuals used to process information and trying to come to a consensus on the way the world works has been changing very rapidly. And I think, you know, the information channels are always controlled, and oftentimes what the plebs see is just a facade. But I think it's just clearer to individuals that they have no idea what's going on, and that um, is challenging for them. It's challenging to not have clear answers for things, and it's confusing. And one of the probably productive ways to do it is, you know, to some degree to get offline. And I've been finding more and more people that have inspired me, you know, to go on this journey with White Boy Summer, which is, you know, some of the people making the best decisions in life are sometimes the most unplugged. And, you know, not everybody has to be a credentialed journalist and be super plugged in to the happenings of the world and reporting on the pedophilic ruling class in order to have a good time. You know, but that doesn't mean that you don't listen to 40 hours of Bitcoin podcasts a week. It just means that, you know, you do that, you stay informed, but you don't have to doom scroll on these platforms and crash out about BB or, you know, whatever else in order to stay informed. And uh yeah, I hope wherever you are listening to this that you're having a good time, and that you're taking full advantage of the situation in which we find ourselves in. And if you are wondering ways on how to better take advantage of the world that we find ourselves in, I think the Paznia Radio Network is an interesting uh, place to do that, where you'll get a lot of information that you probably haven't heard elsewhere. It, at the least, is a great source of entropy, and but I think it's more than that. I think it does have the individuals that are involved with Paznia or involved with what Rayo's doing do have a lot of awesome and effective information. And if you want to, if you're a reader, I think it's a great time to read books. Uh, but if you're a reader and you value non KYC books, head over to libertyunderattack.com. Great publishing. One of these days, I will publish a book, and I am pretty committed to publishing with Liberty Under Attack when I do it, because I think it's the most aligned with my political pronouns of being a cigarette capitalist. And I don't understand why individuals would have to submit, or should submit, or would even want to submit KYC in order to buy a book that I read. That would just feel kind of disappointing to me. So I want to give them the ultimate option not to. And is there a better place in the world to buy non-KYC books? I don't think so. I think Liberty Under Attack is as good as it gets. But anyways, thank you for tuning in tonight, folks. It's Richard Greaser signing off with the song Take Command. and I'll catch you in a couple weeks.
I've been waiting for something to break, someone else to step up to the plate. Watching the 4-year cycles go by, hoping